Welcome to Rise and Shine. I am your hostess, Alissa IG, the consultress, here with my good friend, Elle Bright. Welcome today to the conversation. Elle, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good
Wonderful
morning.
to be here. Rise and shine. I love it.
Yeah, and I love your mug. So Elle here is a boudoir photographer, and she teaches, empowers women how to kind of leverage that energy. Can you speak a little bit to that and show off your mug and give us a little
Oh
story
yeah,
here?
I'll show you the mug. So this mug has photos of my client. One of my faves. She's just gorge. The whole thing came from not being able to do the job I did before and flipping my hobby to a real business. And I went through different phases of what do I want to photograph? Because I used to photograph anything. That's what you do when you're a photographer. And I went through photographing babies, dogs, horses, weddings, events, the whole thing. And I was like, that doesn't light me up. And then I'd photograph boudoir, done. Because what happens in our minds and how our confidence is expressed is unbelievable.
Man, confidence is sexy, don't you think? Yeah.
But that's what we all want more of, right? Confidence.
Yeah. So tell me how you to me exude that confidence and you exude that passion and that like lust for life. So I love that your work empowers that and kind of fuels that forward. How does your passion for that show up in your work? Tell us a little bit about, your juiciest ways of going about adding value to this world.
It's a good question. Yeah. I think the main thing is that I have an enormous heart, as all women do, right? Like you can see the potential. And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, big hearts. That's good.
You can see the potential in people. You can see that there's like this nugget of what they want to express, who they want to be. And I just let them do that. Like give them the space, the support, the like positive energy. And in terms of boudoir, you're stripping back from your everyday to more naturally you. And that's scary, right? But that's what we need to do in life, in business. If you want to be happy, you want to be more authentically yourself. So in front of a camera, scary. But I've got that, been there, done that. Nothing shocks me. You're beautiful, you're powerful, bring it on. And I just help women to actually feel comfortable with themselves, which isn't difficult, but it happens.
Yeah. And I love that being who you are, like it's not going to shock me. Nothing's really going to, you push me off my center. Like you show up centered, you show up trusting and trusted. And that I think that trust is what really allows people to open up with you. And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful in a spiritual sense, but then also like now you're capturing the actual beauty. I love when I see your work pop up on my social thread and my social feeds and stuff. And you embody that first. Like I feel like in business, we all have to embody and kind of go first so that our clients can feel safe and comfortable behind us. Not only are they going to get our confidence because we're confident in what we're doing, we're expert at it, right? But they're kind of looking for permission to peek out and say like, okay, is it okay to come out? Because as don't you find like we spend a lot of our life looking for permission to like be ourselves?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You walk into my studio, that's it. You can be you, just you are amazing. And you get to see that, which is the thing. So it's just it's coaxing you out of your shell a little bit. It's not about being demonstratively crazy, pouting, or any of that. I direct, I help women to find what's comfortable for them. And I'm the one moving around so that the angles and the light and everything is how I would love for you to see you.
Mm.
So it's different, you see, because boudoir was like a man photography thing, obviously. women see women differently. We see us how we see ourselves, not as being seen by somebody with a purpose, you know?
Ooh, say that again.
Not being
I need
seen
to
with a
sink in.
purpose. Yeah.
It reminds me of being of value and self-affirmation versus what we've kind of been taught in today's day and age to externalize our self-acceptance.
Yeah.
How many times have we all, gone to school and done the hard work and been really proud of what we've done, only to get a B or a C or a fail, and then we have like, oh wow, I guess I have to question myself. I thought I did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been trained over time and through like the way that the world is structured right now to externalize our self-acceptance. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying is like you're peeling back those almost like that mud that we have caked onto ourselves. You're
Yeah.
helping people to strip it off
I
and
talk
just
about shit showers.
tell me more.
Well, as women, we take shit showers. I should do this. I don't look good enough. I need to do more. Just constantly pouring those shoulds, expectations, and it covers you. It cakes you so you become someone who you are not. And you gotta get that out of there. You gotta clean that off.
Yeah. Um that is awesome. I always tell people don't should on yourself. It
Same.
sounds like expletive, but it's not. It really just it comes from that place of how do you being yourself, like what does that even mean when you've got all this should layer on you, and you need someone with confidence and the ability to see, to
Mm.
be able to help you rise through that. I think there's this, where is it? I have this one piece of artwork that I drew, just because sometimes I journal with words and sometimes I journal with images to just kind of process what I'm feeling. And it looks like broken hearts
Oh,
um, in all different phases of healing. And the one broken heart that's all the way healed is in this brilliant white light bubble, like ascending towards the top and creating this umbrella of like almost like a helium balloon would create some
oh,
kind of current behind it that
mhm.
allows the other ones to go, oh, great, I can heal and ascend too.
Yes.
It feels like that's what your business does for people.
Wow, that's just so wow. That's what I want. I was writing earlier about sort of forming my ideas before I do a podcast or an important interview or something. I like to have a few meditative moments where you get in the space, it's like, why am I doing this? How do I feel about this? Whatever. And it was exactly that sort of concept. I want women to see that they are more and that they are perfectly okay as they are, but not just themselves. They see themselves first, right? And then to share that imagery so that all women can see. Doesn't matter what your size is, your shape is, your age, doesn't matter where you come from. We're all women. We're all incredible. Love it.
Mhm.
Yeah. But someone's got to go first, right?
Yes. And that I think is the beauty of experience. Like in that artwork I was just talking about the broken hearts in some phase of mending.
Mm.
Yeah, we have this concept of like perfection is perfect. And we forget that the only way to get perfect is to polish and to continue to be affected by our experiences, and that not experiencing pain is like not the definition of perfection. Experiencing pain and failure and heartbreak and defeat and all of these things, they are the experiences that help us to more tightly knit together what we are about and what we will do going forward. Like experience is our best informant.
Yeah.
So this concept of flawless because it's always been flawless is kind of fucked up. It's,
Unlived. It's
yeah,
unlived. It's untouched. It's nothing. It has no really. How can you have feeling if you have no experience?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that having had the experiences and having had the failures, sometimes we use that as proof to tell ourselves that we're unworthy. Oh, well, you've had a bad experience, you've had a failure, you must really suck. And we're our own worst critic, right?
Yeah.
And you can either use these experiences to build you or to destroy you. You yourself are the decider of that. I have a mentor I studied with 10 plus years ago, Jack Canfield, that said, you know, you have to transform that inner critic into your inner coach. So
Yeah.
when you hear yourself saying things like, this happened, so I must, like, realize that you're making a choice to put that label and that definition on there.
Mm.
It's not the truth, it's what appears to be true to you because of a decision. And to move from that place and say, okay, well, if I'm making that choice, I can also choose a different choice. I can also make a different path for myself. And so I have found I've transitioned in a lot of ways. I'm still working on it. I'm not there yet. I don't know if I'll ever be, like, I'll always be a work in progress. But I find that owning my mistakes, owning my flaws and failures is the thing that helps me to show up with the confidence that it's okay. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you screw it up, whatever it is, because I've lived through it and I'm still here. And the stuff that has, you know, felt really tough, that has been really difficult to get through, galvanized me to who I am today. So
Mm.
going first and being that embodiment for people, I think that is the place where it allows them to trust you, because you're not saying, hey, trust me, you're being trust.
Yeah. Well, we all know body language is important and the way you present yourself is important. But if you're not being, what's going on? Talk is cheap, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can feel it when people are on their passion and when people are just talking, right? And can you feel that difference? I mean, I'm in the world of finance and real estate and business consulting. So, you know, a lot of times I'm up against people that are posturing
Yeah.
and, you know, talking the good talk and maybe not
You
walking
need
the
a
walk.
shower after that, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, they sometimes they don't know that that's what they're doing. It's just the mechanism that they've been taught in the industry. So me showing up with my, like, hi, I'm Passion. Nice to meet you. Who are you? And they're like, oh, that's scary. Why are you asking me who I am? Why don't you just ask me what I do? I'm not gonna do that because I'm not really interested. If what you do is of value to my clients and me and my universe, I'll learn about that. I want to know who you are
Yeah.
first before I want to do business with you.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't that, like, doing business with someone comes from trust? So I know this is
There's
like
so
a
many people doing the same sort of thing. You want to work with the people who you can really resonate with, right? You deserve
that's
that.
yeah. I think everyone does, and we spend a lot of time marketing, trying to reach out of ourselves. But I think you've learned something that I'd love for you to share about becoming the magnet that allows people to come towards you. How has that developed for you in your business?
For the most part, it is about being. You have to be that person. And I learned that from example of other people doing that as well. But when my clients were to come in, they would arrive one person and it was like they were leaving a different person. Like I said, they became sort of like layers were removed, they were cleaned up, whatever. But it's who you decide, there's this nugget inside of you of who you decide you are becoming. Just go there. Just
Mhm.
be that person now. And that's what does it, because when you unashamedly own who you are, you're shining this bright light or whatever it is, other people are attracted to that. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That
So
is it.
can you identify a place in your business where your marketing embodied who you were and the results that came from it?
To be specific, the easiest one is always when you, for me, as like the photography part, because it's so easy for people to see. I got my assistant to photograph me in a photo shoot like my clients have, because obviously I can't go to another photographer for that. It won't work. It's not my style, you know? And she'd never even used a big camera before. I just said, look, I'm going to do the posing. Obviously, I know about that. Give it a go. I'll fix it in Photoshop. We'll make it work. And of course, you know, that resonates with women who are like, oh, she means it. She does it, you know? I always turn up in leopard, usually with a bright lipstick, but I'm not perfect. I don't try to be perfect. Who you are is what matters. It's like makeup enhances, it doesn't hide. So it's
Mhm.
embodying all of those ethics, values, you know, that's the main thing. Yeah. Walk the talk.
I love that you had the balls to go and get photographed in a way that you're like, this is what my business does. People need to see that I do this too. You know, I'm over here going like,
Yeah.
oh God, even in the bedroom sometimes with the lights off, I'm like, I don't know.
You're absolutely gorgeous. Don't worry about it. The thing
Ugh,
is, when you've got somebody who knows what they're doing, an expert at any level in any field, you will be cared for. You're in a safe place. So it doesn't matter. And this is, obvious with photos. But in terms of a coach, you're not going to be coached by someone who doesn't have a coach. Like that's just wrong. We all know we don't know everything. So always be learning and sharing that experience and not being, it's not that overly vulnerable share where, you see those on Facebook where like my life was destroyed and now I'm a millionaire. You're like, you know, we don't need that level of vulnerable share. It's like, I'm not a mess, but I'm doing my best and you can too. And it's like rather than the extremes, it's a bit more real.
ugh. Can you say that again too? Oh,
Rather than the extremes, it's a bit more real. Just bringing it back a little bit, bringing it up a little bit. Most people have not. I met one woman who's utterly incredible. She had been, a street urchin, basically picking up pennies to be able to get scraps of food or whatever, and now she's a millionaire. Now that's an incredible story, no question. But it's not something most people can relate to.
mhm.
Because they're not going to experience that and they don't want to experience the street urchin part of things, do they? But it's an exceptional story and it's true. Be inspired, but does it actually help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think finding that, so what I'm hearing is like this trajectory of life from zero to hero, and how the whole story might be intact, very amazing. And for what value you're creating in the world, you have to pull a tempered slice out of
Yeah.
your narrative to be able to empower and relate to people without making them feel like, oh my God, you were such an urchin, or wow, you're untouchable, you've got so much success.
That's the
That
thing. It's too much, it's like too intimidating. And like you're more of a celebrity than actually someone that they can approach.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, love. So much juice here in this conversation, and I don't use the word juicy very lightly, just so you know.
Oh,
Um, mm, so before we depart, I want to just wrap up some of the main learnings that I feel like we have kind of touched upon, and let's leave some resources behind where people can pick up with you or pick up with their journey and try something on. For me, that looks like progress over perfection, pulling out that slice of your journey, that slice of your story that shows where you had incremental change versus feeling like you have to go from zero to hero in your marketing because it's off-putting, right? We're not celebrities. And I
yeah.
also heard stop taking should showers. Um, so and embodying your message, like embodying your message is super crucial in order to create any kind of copy that is compelling to allow people to approach you for
Mm.
the value you provide in the world, rather than that business model we hear out there where people are chasing stuff and wanting to grab. Allow people more to arrive than to feel like they've been compelled. um
Yeah. You don't
any,
need tactics. Yeah.
yeah. Well, this is brilliant. I love talking to you as always. You know, it's always a pleasure. We met once upon a time in a training room with a mentor, and I'm so very glad that we did.
Same.
Where can people go to find you, connect with you, and see the value that you're providing in the world?
We've got there at Elle Bright Official, which is me on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And that focus is empowering women to scale their business to 7 figures. So it's all about mindset, mind-body connection. And ellebright.com, where it all lives.
Beautiful. Right on. High five. Thank you so much for sharing this conversation with me and with our viewers. I am so excited to have them along this journey with us, and then connect with us back out on, you know, the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn space. So happy to be here with you. Until next time, friends, rise and shine. Elle, thanks a million for being here with us today.